Hey, what's going on, guys? Like Butter here. Welcome back to another Division video, and today I want to show you guys where you can get exotic and classified gear. There's a lot of new people coming into the Division, and I've been getting tons of questions in my chat, and that's usually when I know I need to make a video. So first and foremost, the best place to get classifieds and exotics are by far the global events. Now, if you just started playing this game, either recently, right before this video, you probably missed the last global event. It just happened like about a week ago. It ended. And the global events are by far the best way to get the exact sets that you want, because every time a global event comes out, there are 3 for the first 2 and then 4 sets released with each global event, and those specific sets are the ones that you're going to get out of the global event caches. I have a video that I will put in the description below that completely explains about global events, and that is by far the best way, okay? But say the global event isn't up and you're confused at how to get classifieds. I was streaming the other day. I got about 6 classifieds in, I'd say, about 2 hours. We're going to show you guys what I was doing, how to get those, and try to give some solo activities as well as group activities. So the first solo activity that I can tell you is a good way to get classified is every 4 hours there are open world bosses that have a small chance at dropping classified gear. Now, these bosses aren't marked on the map, but lucky for you, I actually made a video explaining and showing where every single boss is on the entire map in the open world. I will link that in the description below as well. But keep in mind, I did miss one boss. The one boss that I missed ends up spawning right here. This is usually where I teleport. I teleport to East 31st Street. We're going to go over there and I'm going to show you exactly where that boss is so you don't miss any. And these refresh every 4 hours. Now, as far as the exotics, there's only, at this point in time, there's only 3 exotics in this loot pool as far as I know. I've never gotten any other exotics from these bosses, and that is Skull Gloves, the Tenebrae, and the Caduceus. So if you want one of those, this is definitely the way to do that. I get the Tenebrae like all the time. It's almost annoying to an extent, because whenever I see an exotic drop, I know that it's one of those 3 things. But if you're trying to, do a high-end build and you want them Skull Gloves, it's definitely a premium place to check. So here is Captain or GY Sergeant Lewis. This is where he spawns, so you can just get him out of the way real quick, and that would have been great if I had a classified drop there. But let me just face tank this. I got my my glass cannon striker build on, so we're gonna take quite a bit of damage here. By the way, dudes, for those of you guys who saw the last video, that video is not in any way, shape, or form a solo build. I saw some people who were kind of confused about that. I do apologize if it came off as a solo build, but what I'm gonna be doing next is I'm gonna be working on a solo striker build for you guys who like to play solo. Excuse me. Anyways, so that's the first way. Now, the most efficient way that I've seen is actually the new resistance mode. There's 3 maps. You can do either of them. I don't think it really matters. It ends up being the same amount of credits to get to the caches, I believe. But what you can do is you can go to like wave 10 or wave 15, and every time you hit one of those waves, you're going to get a resistance cache. Now, those resistance caches have a pretty good chance at exotics and classifieds. Not only that, though, if you look for a logo where it looks like a box with a tag on it, those will have a chance at dropping exotics as well. But this is a group activity, so this goes under the group activity thing. But you can also do it solo if you want to just solo to wave 10 and then just get out, and you have a chance at getting an exotic or classified out of the tier 2 caches. But you can get extremely unlucky and not get anything out of those. But this is definitely an activity that works really well if you're with a group and everyone puts their credits into those caches that can drop you exotic and classified sets on top of the caches that you get for finishing every 5 ways. So that's definitely a good way. Now, the incursions, these are group activities. You got 4 incursions here as long as you have the DLC. If you don't have the DLC, you'll have 2 incursions. Both of these incursions, you have a chance at classified drops off the boss. Any boss in the game, guys, has a chance to drop classified and exotic gear. That was a change that they did in 1.8. So any named enemy that you will come across, there's a chance at getting that drop. But these incursions specifically have exotic drops tied to them. For example, Falcon Loss is the Warlord, Clear Sky is the Medved, Dragon's Nest is the Golden Rhino, and Stolen Signal I don't think has a drop. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, I don't believe Stolen Signal has a drop. However, these incursions once a week, if you do them on Heroic, reward an exotic cache. Now, those exotic caches will give you a guaranteed exotic with a chance of getting a bonus item of a classified, I believe. I think you have a chance at also getting a classified out of those. I could be wrong. But those are super good to do. You definitely want to do those because they give a large amount of div tech as well. And div tech is the currency that everybody wants these days because it's used to optimize your gear. So that's a group activity. Definitely want to do that in a group. Now, there are some other exotic pieces if you're looking for exotic gear, if you're doing a high-end build. There are specific places that these drop. So in each of those specific places are tied to the boss that those items are under the name of. For example, Barrett's chest piece, Barrett is in Lexington, so you can get that drop there. Colonel Bliss holster, that will drop at the General Assembly. Short bow knee pads, that will drop at the Madison Field Hospital, and so on and so forth. So if you ever have any questions at what drops where, just look at whose item it is, and that will be the mission that you need to run. Pharaoh's Mask, Napalm production site. That's pretty straightforward. That's where those specific exotic pieces drop. Now, as far as everything else, as far as like the DLC, the MDR drops in survival, there aren't really that many specific areas that you can farm gear. And this is the question I get asked a lot because people want a specific item and they want to know where they can farm that item. The reason they changed this is because a lot of people were complaining about having to do the same thing in order to get new gear. So what they did instead is they made it so that all drops can drop from everywhere, and because of that, it's kind of harder to get the exact piece that you want. But the good thing is that there's a lot of builds out there that are viable, so you should never feel like you're not gaining anything out of whatever you're farming for. So that goes for underground as well. Don't forget underground, you can get drops from the hunter encounters, which have a chance every single time you play through. You can also get it from any type of boss. You can get from underground, you can get them from the crates that you can find throughout the map that have loot in them. So you can see there's a lot of different ways that you can get classified gear. Now I'm going to go to the terminal really fast because this was something that I didn't know until about last week, but they updated the caches that you can buy from the special equipment vendor. You can get classifieds and exotics from these caches. And since there's not really that many things that's worth using your Phoenix credits over, you're probably going to have a lot of Phoenix credits most of the time. I have a low amount because I haven't done a Phoenix credit farm in a while. But these gear set sealed caches here, I believe it's a 1% chance to get one. I want to see if we get one here. That would be amazing just to prove it to you guys. But I promise I have gotten it. It will come in as a bonus item. I've even had somebody send me one where he got an exotic and a classified in the same cache, which is an extremely low chance. I don't know how he possibly did that, but it was lucky as hell. So that's just another way to get exotic pieces as well. Now let's go into the Dark Zone because I think this is the most efficient farm if you're going around and trying to get exotics and classifieds. However, this is a extremely risky business here because you always have a chance at losing your gear. So you want to be really careful where you extract and, just be aware of your surroundings and make sure that the people around you aren't going rogue. They have the new rogue, notifier, so you should be able to kind of have an idea of who's trying to kill you and who's not. But you can basically go around and you can go and clear landmarks. Now that's like the best way to do it. You go in, you clear a landmark, and you have a chance at getting an exotic or classified to drop from that boss, right? But on top of that, those Dark Zone crates that you can open, the chests, have a chance for exotic and classified gear as well. Now, of course, you're going to need Dark Zone keys. I'm going to show you guys how you can get some if you happen to have like a lot of Dark Zone credits, but you don't have anything to use it on, because essentially Dark Zone credits are kind of useless right now. There's really not any blueprints or anything like that like there used to be that you absolutely, you know, are going to want to purchase. The only thing you're really going to use it on is if a god roll item ends up in one of the Dark Zone checkpoints and you want to get that. But you can actually get the Dark Zone keys from one of the crates from one of the Dark Zone vendors, which I'll show you guys here. So I'm just going to kill this guy. So we didn't get a classified drop, which is unfortunate, but like I said, it's all good. We're just going to go upstairs here after we clear this. I got to be really careful. I got my glass build on. Alright, we can melt them pretty quickly though, fortunately for us. We'll get rid of this guy here. Get rid of that guy. And so these are the drops from the boss, which unfortunately we didn't get a classified, but we do have another chance here. Now you can also, if you're solo and you think your build's like a little bit underpowered, which is probably the case considering you're asking how to get it classifieds, you can just go down south and stay in like Dark Zone 1 and 2, and you'll be able to go through this fairly quickly as long as you're just playing a little bit careful. You can always put together a gear set before getting classified. You don't want to like jump right to classified gear. You're gonna have a horrible time. I always grab these seal caches here, but these chests here, now I have 1400 Dark Zone keys because back in the day you used to be able to take a ton of keys from people and they would drop a lot more frequently. That doesn't happen as much anymore, but you can get classified and exotics from those chests. Now if you go from landmark to landmark and just keep clearing landmarks, killing bosses, and opening those chests, you're gonna get a lot of classified gear. You just are. Now you may not necessarily get the exact classified stuff that you want, but you're gonna start building classified pieces towards a build, which is definitely really good. They up the drop rates from bosses, as far as I know, a little bit, not too much, but I do notice pretty frequently when I'm going through and I'm clearing landmarks that I will usually get, I'd say, about a classified drop every 45 minutes, depending on how efficient my farming is. But you know, there's definitely a good amount of ways to get classified and exotic drops now. You just kind of have to get lucky. It's entirely RNG. Like I said, there's only a couple of exotics and or not really classified, but there's only a couple of exotics that you can go for that have specific drop areas. But for the most part, like I said, the best place is to please sign in during the global event. Like, I can't stress enough how like frequent you get classified drops during the global event. It's meant to kind of get everybody online and playing at the same time, and it makes some of the missions that you may not do otherwise worth doing, and you get those global event credits, and you have a pretty high chance at opening those caches and getting the classifieds. Although I'm still looking for my Predator's Mark mask, which I'm not too happy about. No, that's okay. I like having stuff to get on for. So let me just clear this. Once again, I do want to make another version of Striker, which I do have 2 pieces that I can switch out. But I think I'm still going to run a pretty high firearms Striker build. I'm just not going to have like as much firearms as I'm running now. I might even throw some of my electronics into stamina. The electronics seems to be, unless you're doing a hero build, what the hell? Unless you're doing a healer build, the electronics seem to be kind of meh with certain sets. Because, like, you know, you're only going to heal for so much if you have a lot of stamina. Alright, let me just get rid of this. We're gonna clear this. So we got unlucky again here. I wouldn't really say unlucky, but we didn't get anything from there. But I'm gonna go up here, and it seems like a lot of people don't know about these these chests dropping exotics and classifieds, but you can definitely get them, I promise. It's a low chance, but it's a chance nonetheless. And if you're giving yourself a chance as much as possible, well, that's good news, right? Like, because it means you're being efficient and you will start to get drops. And don't forget, also, I almost forgot, another way that you can get classifieds and exotics are from field proficiency caches. Now, I have another video that you guys can check out that is pretty helpful, where basically you max out as much increased kill XP as you possibly can get, and then you basically run is it accomplished knee pads? I forget. There's knee pads that give you like more points when you clear an area, and I think it is accomplished. You can run that, and the cool thing about running that is you're gonna basically max out your XP gains. If you have XP on everything, you can get like so much XP. It's like 150% or something crazy like that. Am I in an event right now? I'm in an event with a striker build, with a glass cannon striker build. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'm just taking damage over time. It's really weird. Alright, let's kill that. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's a classified drop. These events, these contaminated events, are other good ways to get them. But just to show you guys, I mean, dude, that's perfect. Reclaimer bracers, braces, sealed cache. So these contaminated events that you'll see around the map are other good ways to get them. But field proficiency caches are doubled this weekend, guys. Doubled if you're watching this right as I posted it. I'm not sure how long it goes for, but double field proficiency caches means when you level up this bar up here. Hold on, how do I do it? I forget. There's a way to show your mouse on screen. I don't know. Anyways, that orange bar at the top of my screen, once you level up to that, you're going to get 2 field proficiency caches, and those have a chance to drop exotics and classifieds. So I hope that's it. I don't think I really missed any ways. I probably did. There's always going to be like one way that I missed something. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. Those are the most efficient ways. Those are how I get my drops. Like I said, if you have the DLCs, you have a little more leeway with things you can do. Like you can do underground, you can get stuff out of last stand caches and whatnot. And there's just a ton of ways to get classifieds. The only thing that can be rough for a newish player is that when you want to go for a specific build, you're not going to get the drops that you want, most likely. But eventually you can start building up your classified stuff. The reason the drop rates are so low is because one of the things that really hurt this game was when they cranked up the drop rates on all the gear set pieces because of how many gear sets there were. It kind of made it so that gear set drops weren't really, you know, special anymore. There was nothing, you know, unique about them, nothing cool, nothing felt good about it. So these new classified pieces are meant to be really rare versions of the gear sets. So you may not get a classified set the first week, maybe even second week, but like I said, make sure to sign in during those global events. And this weekend this week, 26th to 30th or something. They might not even do it that long, I'm not sure. But those double field proficiency caches, there's going to be some crazy farming going on if you guys use that method where you put XP and everything. Like I said, all of those videos that I mentioned in this video are going to be in the description below, so be sure to go check those out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully it helped you guys out. For those of you guys who are new to the game, I want to welcome you to the community. Hopefully you have a good time here, and if you ever need help, be sure to ask. There's a lot of people in the Division community that are willing to help people out just for the sake of helping them out. So thanks for watching, dudes, and I'm going to extract these Reclaimer bracers because I think I need some because I want to do a healer build, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Alright, take care, everybody.